Ready. All right, hello and welcome everybody here to yet another game of regional baseball, the Central Plains Regional. We have an elimination game for one of these teams, not an elimination game for the other. This is effectively the semifinals of the Central Plains Regional Tournament. Only one team will make it out of here. We have three left now. St. Michael got a win over Fargo this morning, and so we only have three teams left. By the end of the game, we might have two, we might have three, who knows, going into the final day. So, this game between the Harrisburg Gold, the team that won South Dakota. They won the South Dakota State Championship. They're the last South Dakota team remaining. This is their first appearance at any regional. They won their first state title this year. And so, there you go. They are in uncharted territory. They have fought through the losers bracket with two very close games against the Post 22 Hard Hats and the Williston Post 37 Keybirds to get here, and they will face the 3-0 buzzsaw that is this Lincoln East Spartans team. This Spartan team is 3-0. They've beaten two state champs plus the Keybirds, and so actually two of those teams, that Fargo versus St. Michael game being played between two state champs that had lost this team already. This Lincoln East team is first in a lot of categories, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, going into the game, this Harrisburg Gold team comes in at a 27-14 record, and Lincoln East is this Carpetland Lincoln East team is 49-9. So thank you all for tuning in. Let's go over how these teams are doing statistically. For Lincoln East, they are third out of 8 teams in this tournament in terms of batting average, batting .265. That is still the best of anybody who made it to today. That is the first of the 4. That's best out of 4 teams. This is through yesterday's stats, so not updated for the 20 hits being made by St. Michael in their game this morning against Fargo. AJ Abasco is one of 3 guys to get homers on this team. Now that there was 2 homers in that other game for St. Michael, the field has now caught up. The field has 3 home runs, so so as it sits, Carpetland has just as many home runs as everybody else in the tournament, as just one team. They in walks are tied for 4th out of 6. Not really a big walk team, only 8 walks over their 3 games. They do, but it doesn't seem to matter. They are first in runs. 20 runs is the best out of anybody who played 3 games in this tournament, or anybody, period. So that they are the best offense just based off of run production. Then the ERA for the pitching staff is best of the 8 with a 1.67 ERA. They also have the highest amount of Ks out of everybody. They're first out of 6 that played at least 3 games. And for errors, they are tied for second least errors out of everybody that played 3 games. So there you go. Here's the Harrisburg side of things. Offense not been their strong suit. They are batting .171 as a team. That is worst out of the 8 teams in this tournament. The runs that they produced, 5 runs. That ranks last out of the 6 teams to play 3 games. And walks-wise, they are tied with Harrisburg, or tied with Lincoln East for 8 walks through 3 games for the 4th out of 6 teams to play 3 games. But the thing is, their pitching and defense has been stellar. Their ERA 2.00 is second only behind Lincoln East out of the teams in this tournament. They have 19 Ks. That puts them in the middle of the pack, 3rd out of the 6 teams to play 3 games. And they do have the best defense in, at least in terms of making the routine plays and whatnot, as they only have 1 error across 3 games. That is the best out of everybody in this tournament. Everybody has at least 2. So there you go. Here are the starting lineups. The Harrisburg Gold going to be the away team here, as the 3-0 Spartans will host. So Harrisburg Gold leading off is shortstop Palmer Boyd, followed by the catcher Max Carlson at the 2. 3-hole is inhabited by the right fielder Tegan Muntz. Cleanup is 3rd baseman Maddox Shearer. Second baseman Noah Boucher is the 5. Designated hitter Jack Riley is 6th. Center fielder Tate Larson is going to be the 7. First baseman Carter Hoffman bats 8th. Left fielder Cone Cook is going to be at the 9. And on the mound, Brandon Simonik. So there you go. Recap that for you. The first three for the Harrisburg Gold: shortstop Palmer Boyd, catcher Max Carlson, and right fielder Tegan Muntz. The middle three: third baseman Maddox Shearer, second baseman Noah Boucher, and designated hitter Jack Riley. And the bottom three: center fielder Tate Larson, first baseman Carter Hoffman, and left fielder Cone Cook, with Brandon Simonik on the mound. So there you are. Now your lineup for the host team, the Carpetland Lincoln East Spartans. Leading off for them will be the left fielder Owen Lasig, followed by Kansas State commit first baseman AJ Avasco. Catcher Garrett Springer will be at 3. Center fielder Mason Gaines is 4th. Right fielder Ryan Clementi is the 5. Third baseman Tanner Peterson will be 6th. Second baseman Kai Berkey bats 7th. Shortstop Harrison Beester is going to be at the 8th. And the catcher Landon Sandy, catching for the first time. Oh wait, am I right about that? I have 2 catchers on my lineup. Oh, no, Springer was not catching. Springer is DHing up at the 3, so sorry about that. So the catcher, Landon Sandy, at the 9 with Luke Larson on the mound. He pitched a little bit earlier in this turn. He pitched 2 innings against Williston, didn't allow anything, got the win. So here are your first 3 for the Carpetland Spartans. Left fielder Owen Lasig, first baseman AJ Avasco, and designated hitter Garrett Springer. The middle 3: center fielder Mason Gaines, right fielder Ryan Clementi, and third baseman Tanner Peterson. The bottom 3: second baseman Kai Berkey, shortstop Harrison Beester, and catcher Landon Sandy, with Luke Larson on the mound. So now, with all of that said and done, we are ready to go. We're going to get a code of sportsmanship, followed by the national anthem, and we will be ready to go. It is windy, and it is very windy. It is in the mid-60s here today in Rapid City, and it is raining pretty hard at the moment, though we are on a full field turf. So outside of the warning track, everything here is turf, so we can play through the rain just fine. We played the first game through the rain, no thunderstorms. That would be the only thing that would get in the way of anything today. So here's the code of sportsmanship and the national anthem. I'll see you at the end.
I will keep the rules, keep faith with my teammates, keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a stout heart in defeat, keep my pride under the victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as we honor our great country with the singing of the national anthem. Here to sing, Reese Harlow, a student at St. Thomas More High School in Rapid City. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes sent bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts being won were so gallantly streaming, and beyond this line, the bursting land came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Reese. Gentlemen, let's play ball.
All right, so we are getting ready now to play some good old-fashioned baseball here at Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City, South Dakota. It is wet, it is rainy, it is foggy. There is no sun in the sky. There are 20-mile-per-hour winds going out to right. That won't stop anybody here. We are going to play through it nonetheless. It's going to be a little bit of a weather game that might give an advantage to the underdog, the Harrisburg Gold. Transitively, Harrisburg against common opponents with Carpetland 0-1, while Carpetland 1-0 between their games with St. Michael. Actually, no, 1-1 because they both played the Keybirds of Williston, North Dakota. So 1-1 for Harrisburg, 2-0 for Carpetland. Carpetland has not shown much sign of weakness. They had to squeak out a game earlier in the tourney against St. Michael, a 3-2 one on the back of a AJ Avasco 3-run homer in the 5th inning. But outside of that, they dealt with Fargo pretty handily. They dealt with the Keybirds pretty handily as well, and they've been the best run-producing team while also being the best pitching team in this tourney as well. So, it's going to be a tough one to overcome for the Harrisburg Gold. But hey, South Dakota State champs. These kids are special. The first one to ever win it for their program. We'll see if they can do something here today. Winner, no matter what, will play St. Michael in the morning. Whether that's Carpetland with a loss to spare playing St. Michael, or if that ends up being Harrisburg playing a game to see who plays Carpetland at the end of the day. Carpetland has earned itself a spot in the championship game already by virtue of being the final game to be broadcast, or the final game to be final team to be undefeated, which is the tiebreaker if you get to the final 3 games. If you get to the final day and there's 3 teams, which would happen if Harrisburg were to beat them today. So Palmer Boyd going to lead things off. Palmer having a really rough tourney. He's 0 for 11 as the leadoff man. On the mound here is Luke Larson for Lincoln. That is going to be lined into left. That's going to get down. Palmer Boyd 0 for 11, no more. He is now 1 for 12. Starts things out for this Harrisburg team. Well, Harrisburg came to play. That's a message being sent right there. A man who has been cold all tourney showing up at the very start. So that'll be the starting gun on this race to see who wins this game. So now Max Carlson is up to bat. Carlson 2 for 9. Bunt shown. He bounces it off his own shin, and that'll be the first strike. Second straight game where the first pitch was taken was hit into the outfield. That happened with a leadoff double in the game earlier today. There's a significant amount of Harrisburg fans out here right now. Of course, a first time for them. And a pretty good showing, all in all, to get to the final day of the Central Plains Regional. You can't complain. Or the final 2 days, that is that's something to hang your hat on. The good thing about this tournament, everything is bonus. As no matter what, every team in here has already accomplished a good season in order to get here. Harrisburg, of course, won their first state title. So they've got that to hang their hat on regardless of what happens in this game. A little bit outside, Larson misses, and so Carlson waiting. No problem. Happy to bring it to you. I'm Oliver Fell. This is Hard Ads TV. Thank you all for tuning in today, spending your afternoon with us on this fine Saturday. Well, not fine, but it's probably better where you are, honestly. But hey, we got 18-mile-per-hour winds heading out to right. That's popped and fouled. Not going to be caught. It'll drop into foul territory, and we move to a 2-2 count. Some interesting fonts, some very skinny numbers compared to what I'm used to for this in this Lincoln East game, this Lincoln East team. On the back of their jersey, some very skinny numbers compared to the more blocky ones you're used to seeing in sports. Larson checks back at first. No play to be made. Game number 13 of this Central Plains Regional Tournament. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Larson gets his first K and the first out of the game. And so Max Carlson, 4th strikeout of the tournament. It'll bring up Tegan Muntz. Muntz is 1 for 4, 2 walks, has a 500 OBP. They're trying to. It would mean a lot if they can get out to an early start, put some runs on the board. A big swing and a miss there. Larson, the breaking ball, shakes up the timing on Tegan Muntz. Popped out of play.
Fans, we appreciate your help returning the foul ball to the ticket booth and special thanks to Black Hills Pediatric Dentistry.
Go, Teague. Hey, I gotta fight. I gotta fight.
Okay, 0-2 count. Sandy sets up on the outside of the plate. Ball misses a little bit. Good eye from Muntz. He will take it.
Good eye. All right. Move Palmer. Let's go, buddy.
1-2. The man is taking off. That's a strikeout. They throw way into the outfield. So Landon Sandy's throw goes awry, but it won't matter. That wouldn't have been a stolen base anyways. That is out number 2. Second strikeout now for Luke Larson. Stolen base successful for Boyd. I do have some good news. Some exclusive information for the all-state tournament, or the all-state teams here in South Dakota for Legion Ball. I have come into possession of the all-state team, and I have some good news for you Harrisburgers, as I'm sure you would expect, being the state champions and all. So the members of your team, the Harrisburg Gold, who are going to be first team all-state, Eli Kokenge and Maddox Shearer. Eli Kokenge and Maddox Shearer, first team all-state, and Tegan Muntz and Braxton Kussler both make the second team all-state. So there you go. And then even for the Harrisburg Maroon, they get one player on the second team. That is Darren Safransky. So there you are. That's a little bit off. 1-0. Still got that man on second. So to repeat that, first team all-state for Harrisburg Gold, Eli Kokenge and Maddox Shearer, with Tegan Muntz and Braxton Kussler on the second team. That's hit hard and deep into left. It's going to the wall. It is off of the wall. So 1 run will score. Harrisburg is on the board. Churning for 3 is going to be Shearer. And Shearer is going to have a stand-up triple. RBI triple for Harrisburg. They are on the board here against this Carpetland team, who's allowed the fewest runs in this tournament. The Gold getting a little bit of a Let's Go Tigers chant. That's the high school that all these guys go to. So a triple brings in the leadoff man Boyd. And now Harrisburg on top. This is exactly what they needed to do. They needed to jump all over this Carpetland team. That gets to the backstop. Coming in is going to be Shearer. No throw made. 2-run score now in the top of the first. Tigers all sorts of fired up after that one, as they should be. This team this would be a significant upset if Harrisburg were able to steal a win off of these Spartans. All right, 1-0 count now to Noah Boucher. Nobody on. Swing and a miss. That's the way that Harrisburg would like it. if you said Noah Boucher was coming up to bat, nobody on, you'd be like, oh, what happened? But then you realize 2 guys scored, and Harrisburg is on top with a serious lead to start things out. And considering they have the second best pitching in this tournament so far, you'd have to think, hey, maybe they can defend that lead and extend on it, and maybe they won't ever lose that lead. Fouled off. It's a little early to be doing all that, though. We go to a 2-2 count. I want to give a big shout out to Evan. He's our scorer. He's our official record keeper for this tournament. That is going to be hit into center. So a single. The third hit of the inning off of Luke Larson. And Harrisburg bringing the bats today in a way they didn't before. This team was batting just 171 in the tournament entering this game. They had the fewest runs scored and the fewest walks. They haven't gotten a walk here, but their offense ranked last out of all the teams here. And now look at them. They're batting over 500 as a team right now. And Jack Riley's up. Riley, the man who had that solo shot in that game earlier today, or earlier this week, in that 1-0 win over Williston. His solo shot represented the only run come across for either team in that game. It was off of the Powerade advertisement underneath the scoreboard out in left center. Inside pitch, make it 2-0. 2-0 count. Harrisburg got the momentum right now. Riley takes another one off, and Larson loads up the count, 3-0. Check back at first for Boucher, not going to be in time. So on the verge of walking his first batter now. On deck is the center fielder, Tate Larson. That's a strike. So throws one through the old tire swing, and we go to a 3-1. Three-one count. Popped up, out of play. Also, something to note, all of you here on Hard Hats TV that represent or that support the Post 22 Hard Hats, we have the All-State for them too. 2 All-Staters for the Hard Hats on the first team. 2 first-team All-State. Both of them, that is Harry Good, our right fielder, and the relief/starting pitcher, Eli Kelly. On the second team is Alex Dietrich. So 3 All-Staters. That's a strike 3. So the payoff pitch finds its way into the zone, freezes the batter. But Harrisburg, 3 hits. They put up 2 runs at the start of this game, have a strong lead entering the bottom of the first. It's Carpetland's turn to respond. Larson strikes out the side, but I bet he would rather he didn't. If he was just able to, keep him off the scoreboard. So recap that inning for Harrisburg. They get they have 3 hits. They score 2 runs. Both of them are earned to the pitcher Larson. No errors from this Lincoln East team. And 1 man is left on base. 2-0. So this is exactly what Harrisburg needed to do if they were planning on making this upset. And they did it. So here we go.
Max Carlson, and on mound, Brandon Samonic.
Brandon Samonic going to come up.
I've got this same deck.
All right, Samonic. I wonder how we got to Samonic. He has a U there for that middle letter. So it sounds like Simunic or Simonic or nope, Simonic. You do have to wonder stuff like that. So leading off for this Lincoln East Spartans team, the team that has produced the most runs in this tournament, this is going to be Owen Lasig. Lasig 3 for 10, batting a clean 300 in this tournament. Ooh, rough first pitch, a spike to the ground. One 0 count. Another high pitch, and it's 2-0. So too low, too high. In theory, this one should be just right.
Take a deep breath here. You're all right.
Inside, you get 3-0. Simonic having some trouble locating the zone early.
Long road. Here we go.
Strike. Delivered at the hips. So he locates on that one. It is now a 3-1 count. Popped out of play. And now a full count. So Simonic works his way back in. Simonic. Full count. Payoff pitch. That's low. So he will walk the leadoff man. Showing that he had more control though. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're enjoying the broadcast, give it a like. It helps people in your own community see it a little bit more. So if people don't know that Harrisburg, say you're in Harrisburg and you don't know that these games are being streamed, you might know. I'm sure you told people. I'm sure the social media told people, but you like it, it'll just show up in their streams. And so more people will be able to see it, share the Tigers' love all around. And now up to bat, the Kansas State commit, AJ Avasco. First pitch ball, they throw back, nearly got him. Pretty good attempt there to try to catch Lasik. 1-0. Avasco checks on that one. It's a 2-0. So once again behind in the count. Simonic kind of nibbling around. He can't give anything easy though to Avasco. Avasco, there is a strong wind about 20 miles an hour heading out to right. That's where he pulls most to. So in addition to his tremendous power that's already been on display in this tournament, AJ Avasco has a big wind on his back. That being said, ball going to be effectively humidified by the rain going on. It's a cold, rainy day here in Rapid City. Feels more like November than August. Or March or something like that. I do hear that for most of Rapid City's time, it's kind of a rough weather place most of the time of the year. He'll take it high. So good take there from Avasco. We'll work it into a 3-1 count. 3-1. Avasco hits that squarely but foul. And now we go to another full count. So Simonic, yet again, able to work back into a full count. Last time he had this, he walked the man. Trying not to do the same thing here. It's hard, hit over to second, handled cleanly. Going too short, the throw is late, but the man at second retired. Good play on a hard hit ball from the second baseman, Noah Boucher. Able to handle it just fine. But relay with Boyd not going to catch Avasco. Avasco reaches on a fielder's choice. And so that'll bring up Garrett Springer. Springer, a future Mo Valley catcher at Missouri State. Take it high. Simonic not really doing himself a ton of favors here, getting behind in most of these counts. I check in on Vasco. He's fine. Glad you asked. A serious size difference between Carter Hoffman and AJ Vasco, the two first basemen for this team. Hit squarely, driven into right, and caught. Now, there might be a play at first. Nope, there's not. So a fly out. Spartans now up to 2 outs. We'll bring up Mason Gaines, the cleanup man. Gaines, a cleanup, been so-so. 2 for 10 in this tourney. No walks. Does have 3 RBIs, so, I mean, that is the job of the cleanup man, to bring in runners. He's averaging 1 a game, which is pretty good. It's tough to compare him to the St. Michael cleanup man, Evan Saunders, who is up to 9 RBIs now. He went, or no, he's up to even more. Yeah, no, 9 RBIs. He, in the first game, if you missed it, St. Michael beat Fargo 16-5. Or no, 16-7, right? That's in the dirt. It'll get away. And it didn't matter. Vasco was already taking off. So he'll just get a stolen base for that. Ball a little bit loose because of the slippery conditions. But yeah, so we go to a 1-1 count now here in the bottom of the first. Sorry, I forgot to change which side of the inning we are. My bad. That's going to the backstop as well. The ball keeps slipping out of his hand. Simonik got to use that towel on the back of the mound. He asked for a fresh ball out the ball bag. I don't know how watertight that thing is, but it's better than the outdoors. So another runner moves on. Vasco now nearly home. One more wild pitch, he could be home. And these are just the environmental conditions. Foul tip! He delivers a strike. Simonik draws strike 2. So now Mason Gaines is down 2-2. Gaines batting 200 on this tourney. Swing and he checked. He's out. A K for Simonik. So after walking the opening man, he gets out of trouble. And after 1 inning, the Harrisburg Gold on top 2-0. Recap that one for the Spartans. No hits, no runs, no earned runs. There were no errors on the Gold, and 1 man is left on base. It remains 2-0. So, good work here from the Gold. They're doing exactly what they got to do if they plan on winning this thing and extending their season. They would go home with a loss. The Spartans with a loss would not. They would still play for a title, but they wouldn't get 2 lives tomorrow. As if they do win, they'll have to be beaten twice by St. Michael. If they lose today, they're going to play the winner of St. Michael Harrisburg in that afternoon with a winner-take-all the marbles kind of game. Whoever wins is going to play at 11 against St. Michael. That's the truth. Whether or not it will be for a Shelby ticket is the question. So Luke Larson coming back out. He had a rough first inning. Allowed 3 hits to this Harrisburg Gold team. He will now face the bottom of the order, the 7, 8, and 9. Tate Larson coming up to bat. He's 1 for 9 in the tourney.
Putting up the second for Harrisburg, the center field, number 11, Tate Larson.
So the center fielder Larson had a rough tourney, 1 for 9, but to be fair, a lot of this team was having trouble hitting. It had a team batting average of just 171. Alright, I'm a little late on things. Alright, top of the second. Strike, and that one put down, so we go to a 1-1 now. One to Larson. Larson to Larson. Not as surprising, not as rare as you would think. Larson, a very common name up here in the upper Midwest. You probably know 4 or 5 Larsons. You're thinking of them right now, yeah. We know Josh too. All right. So there's a 2-1 count. Pitch. Oh, off the shoulder. He'll grimace a little and get over to first. So the opening batter gets on any way he can with a hit by pitch. That one didn't look that bad as it came in at maybe low 70s. So now the first baseman, Carter Hoffman, he's been pretty good this turning. He's 2 for 8, even has 2 steals. Speaking of steals, taking off is the runner. The throw, good! Not in time, though. That was a great throw from Landon Sandy over to second, but it didn't matter. Tate Larson stole the bag anyways. And with how slippery the ball is, I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of this inning a wild pitch is able to bring in Tate Larson. First pitch was a strike, though. All right. A 1 count now to Hoffman. There is some warm-up activity in the Lincoln East bullpen. That's a strike. It would be a little early to pull Luke Larson. You do have to wonder who is left for this Lincoln team after they have thrown 3 good starters, all of which combined for the lowest ERA in the tournament the last 3 days. They might also be saving somebody for the championship game they know they have punched a ticket to. So there's a chance this is maybe even starter number 5. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Beautiful pitch gets the 4th K now for Larson. Larson getting plenty of strikeouts, but also just, I don't know, the pitches are good enough to get Ks, but not keeping people off of the bases. And now, for the first time, Cone Cook, the 9-hole hitter, will come up. He is batting .300, having a pretty good tourney actually batting .500, having a pretty good tourney so far. He also has an RBI and a stolen base. That's a strike. No.
Hey, what do you say, 8?
Just a little bit inside, so it's a 1-0 count. 1-0. Grounded over to first. Handled cleanly. He'll rush there. Avasco touches the bag for out number 2. The runner, Larson, moves over to third, and it'll bring up the leadoff man, Boyd. He took the first pitch into left center for a single back in the first inning.
Go, Palmer!
So Boyd now 1 for 12, but all that really matters is that he is 1 for 1 in this game. Slider just a little bit outside. That was a pretty pitch with a lot of break. 1-0. Popped up into foul territory. Vasco tracking it. There is a lot of wind and rain, though. He does make the grab. That's not an easy play to make. I know that he's got a hat on, but you're going to have a little bit of water coming down on your face. That's always a little bit jarring. Think about your eye drops and whatnot. And then you got some wind moving it around. Nonetheless, Vasco gets it. So nothing happens. The opening man gets on, but nobody scores for Harrisburg in the top of the second. They still hold on to a 2-0 lead. Carpetland trying to break into that. their coach giving them a rousing speech right now outside the dugout. One, two, three, go. I think is what I heard because it definitely wasn't 1, 2, 3 Spartans, or 1, 2, not, or 1, 2, 3 rugs, or 1, 2, 3 carpet land. So to recap for Harrisburg, no hits, no runs, no earned runs. There were no errors on the Lincoln East, and 1 man is left on base. Remains 2-0. Still, all for all, game going just how Harrisburg wants it to. I mean, obviously they want as many runs as you can against the 3-0 undefeated team in the tournament here, especially when you're coming out of 2 losers bracket games where you won by a single run. But the pitching has been there this week for Harrisburg. And so you gave yourself a little bit of a lead. They only needed 1 run in that game against Williston. But, yeah. There you go. So, coming out for his second inning of work is Brandon Simonic. Okay. Outside pitch, ball 1. To Munich. I don't know what he does, but he does play football. Oh no. Bye-bye. It started talking to me about EVs on the website. So we go to a 2-0 count. I was just on max preps, man. 1, 2, 3 rugs. We say rugs. Alright. Good idea. Thank you, Hope. And now we go to a 3-0 count. Quick turnaround. Or, you know, quickly ahead in the count is the 5-hole hitter Ryan Clementi. And 4-pitch walk. So, standing still and getting to first is going to be Brandon Simonic. Or not, Brandon Simonic gets the walk, and now on base is Ryan Clementi. Bringing up Tanner Peterson. Peterson 1 for 6 overall. Puts down a bunt. It's a pretty good one with some backspin. Picked up by Simonic. He throws to first. Good throw, and that'll be in time. Simonic makes a pretty good play there off his back foot through the rain, and the sacrifice bunt still successful for the Spartans. I get the idea that bunting here going to be probably a good idea because you are waiting on because these are such adverse conditions. Just putting the ball in play and creating some chaos is probably a solid plan in these in this situation, especially with all the wild pitches and whatnot going on.
Got a lot of help now. Got a lot of help. Go get him.
So Clementi over on second. He does have a stolen base in this tourney. It was not of third. It was of second. So it's a 2-0 count. Stream is not down. I was gonna say I'm aware. It's all right. So 2-0. That's a strike. Go to 2-1. All right. 2-1 now to Kai Berkey. Berkey drives one right off the mound and into center. That'll bring in 1 run. Coming home is going to be the runner, Clementi. So a liner right back up the middle, bouncing off the mound into center, will bring home the first run of the day for the Spartans. A RBI single from Kai Berkey. That is his 4th RBI of the tourney. He's now 3 for 8. That was also the first hit of the game, actually, off of Simonic in any fashion. Bringing up Harrison Beester. The shortstop, Beester, been a pretty solid reliable shortstop. He's wearing a hoodie today. I can't blame him. It's a little bit chilly, you know, it's nippy. Somebody else who wore a hoodie, Mike Casillas from Pueblo, Colorado, came out here. He wore a hoodie every time he played except for when he pitched. And it was like 86, 87 degrees and sunny at that moment. But Casillas wore that hoodie every day, and he led the veterans tournament the Firecracker tournament in stolen bases. So, man, I called the Hooded Bandit came through. 1-1 count. Beaster waits on a pitch, so it is now 2-1. Beaster, 2 walks in this tourney, representing a fourth of the total walks drawn by this Lincoln East team in their 3 games. Oh no! Getting back to the bag, Berkey steps on the foot of Hoffman on accident. He says, "I'm sorry." Hoffman walks it off. 2-1. Fouled off into the parking lot.
Thank you, fans, for helping returning call.
Yep, a ground rule foul into the parking lot out there as it goes over the Hall of Fame on a skip. Beaster still waiting now, but it's a 2-2 count. A chance to tie the game here with a double or, you know, some sort of extra base hit. Taking off, and a hit and run, successful. Beaster drives that one into center. Taking off for third on the hit and run will be Kai Berkey. And so another single. Beaster comes through on the 2-2, and runners on the corners now. That could have been really bad had it been a little bit lower in altitude. Had that been a liner right back up the middle, totally would have been caught by the shortstop, Boyd, and throw to first would have been in time to get a double play. But instead, it works out just as anticipated, bringing up the 9-hole hitter, Landon Sandy. Man, they're calling Lando. He came through with a solo homer yesterday. Stealing the base and getting into scoring position is Beaster. 2 men in scoring position now. The tying run and the go-ahead run ready here if Landon Sandy can deliver. The catcher had a homer yesterday. That one 1-0, slightly inside. That's hit high and deep into right. Going back to the wall. It is going to be off of the wall. So 2 runs will score. They're both making a little bit of a trot home. 1, now 2. And a double from Landon Sandy will bring in 2 runs and give the Spartans a 3-2 lead. This is the kind of offense we saw the last few days that put up 20 runs in their first 3 games, averaging more than a little under 7 runs a game. This was inevitably going to happen at some point here, no matter how good your pitching is. They proved that against the Mikes. So 3 consecutive hits from this Lincoln East team turn into 2 more runs. And so now Owen Lacey, the leadoff man, going to come up. He walked and came around to, or he walked and was out on a fielder's choice before a balk called. For some reason, that's like the 3rd balk called on Harrisburg. I haven't seen him in any of the other games. It kept on happening in the Hard Hats game yesterday. That's how I feel bad for the cameraman who... I wonder who lost the rock, paper, scissors to have to do the cameraman in the rain on top of the visitors' dugout and being the one on the concourse that is going to be hit into the gap. No, caught. Good grab. The throw to the cutoff man not going to be in time. 1 run will score. So Spartans make it 4-2 on a sacrifice fly from Owen Lacey. So it's now a 2-run lead in the opposite direction. But they get out number 2. Not that they would have, liked that trade. They being the gold. Smoked into right, and that'll get down. AJ Avasco comes through, gets his first hit of the day. So no matter what would have happened, in theory, had the runner not come home on the last hit, it would have come home on this one anyways. So just a single for AJ Avasco will bring up Garrett Springer. Springer flew out to right his last time up for the second out of the first inning. Curveball misses. Simonic. Not quite doing as well in the second inning as his first. Throwback. Not going to be in time. There's Hoffman. I need to check something. Carter Hoffman is listed at 5'8". That's what he looks at next to AJ Avasco over there at first. Avasco is okay, stealing, but he'll have to come back on a foul ball. Make it 1-2. 1-2. Avasco takes off. It's going to be softly grounded over to third. Going to be a hard play. The third baseman throws in time. Maddox Scherer able to get the out. And so that'll end the inning. It does. It strands one runner, but at the end of the day, Spartans ultimately won that inning. They go into the top of the third, not down 2, but up 2. After 4-run score in the bottom of the bottom of the second. I knew it was really jarring. It was Carter Hoffman over at first, standing next to 6'6" Caleb Klinkhammer for St. Michael in that game. That was a 10-inch difference. It really was something to behold. Plus, he was standing on top of the bag, so extra 2 inches or so, maybe a full foot. So Springer, that ground out. I know, Pride of Nebraska, they swept the circuit, won their first high school state title in I think ever, in the spring, and then followed it up by also winning the Legion state title. So this Lincoln East team, something special to sweep the whole circuit in a very good baseball state of Nebraska. So to recap that inning for Lincoln East, 3 hits, score 3 runs. All 3 of them are earned to the pitcher Simonic. 3 hits, score 4 runs. All of them earned to the pitcher Simonic. No errors. And 1 man left on. Make it 4-2. Eventually, this team was going to come to light. It's just how Harrisburg responds here that's going to decide who wins this game. You can't just let yourself fall into a hole against this team, because good enough pitching from the Carpetland Spartans is going to eventually snuff you out if you don't respond quick. You've got to keep yourself neck and neck, or you're never going to beat this team. So 1-1 count here. Carlson chops one over to third. The throw in time. First out recorded. Gotta say, Carlson very quick going up to the base path though over to first. It was definitely a closer play than I anticipated. Bringing it Tegan Muntz. Muntz struck out his first time up, but overall was doing pretty well. He entered the game with a 500 OBP. That's probably sitting at a 444 OBP now. as he's 4 for 9 in terms of reaching base. Just 1 for 5 in terms of hitting. Swing and a miss! Right out in front of him. The pitcher Larson pulls the string on that one. 1-1 count. Tegan, a little bit of a shimmy. Gets himself ready. Sandy sets the pitch, sets the destination. Missed a little there by Larson.
Hey, nickel dimer. 0-1-5.
A little bit low. I do have to wonder. It's always interesting when you see somebody with painted nails. You're like, oh, you're a guy with painted nails. That's just kind of a thing pitchers have always done because it's easier to see a swing and a miss. But it must have been a hard thing to explain for quite some time in there, or to anybody who doesn't know baseball, to explain why you got one hand painted with fluorescent colors and the other not, just a little outside. That will be a walk. Harrisburg able to get aboard now. Tegan Muntz, his 3rd walk of the tournament. It'll bring up Maddox Shearer. Shearer came through big in the top of the 1st inning with a triple. Came around to score on a wild pitch in that one, bringing in 1 run and being 1 run himself for this Harrisburg Gold team. A big waggle going on, staring down the pitcher. Whew. Some hard contact made on that one, but it is smacked over the fence, foul. And not like the deep fence, over the fence for foul territory. That being said, that ball left the bat with some serious gusto. Maybe something around the high 80s to low 90s in exit velocity. It was hit square, but late. So an 0-1 count. A throw back. And so far, nothing resembling a tag coming from AJ Avasco in any of these pickoff attempts. But Larson keeps on doing them anyways. Luke Larson. Pitch a little bit low. Good eye. Will be rewarded for Maddox Shearer. Maddox had that triple earlier. Aside from that, he is now batting exactly 300. He's 3 for 10 in the tourney. That's going to be hit softly over to short. The throw to first. Bouncer in time. And so the runner will advance. There was a chance of the double play, but as to not get too greedy, Beaster just throws over to first in time. Of course, they do have 1 extra run here if they manage second scores, but that's not the purpose. You're trying to keep everything off the board. It'll bring up Noah Boucher. Boucher had a single while the bases were empty last time. We bring you every game of the Central Plains Regional here on Hard Hats TV. We'll bring you both the games tomorrow. See who punches their ticket to Shelby. First pitch fouled off, make it 0-1. That was also a very hard hit ball. You could hear the smack on the bat. Actually, that bat sound not very metallic, sounding a little bit wood, but everything here is, of course, aluminum bats. 0-1 count. Bounced a little bit, and it will go foul. So now 0-2. Harrisburg, man in scoring position with 2 outs. These are the kind of things you gotta capitalize on in this game. You gotta watch out for Larson though. Larson, 4 strikeouts to this point in the game, and now leading 0-2. You'd have to think he's hoping for his 5th. Larson did a good job of adjusting and collecting himself after allowing those first 2 runs in the 1st inning. Reached on, poked over to short. It's in and out of the hands of Beaster. He throws high, and that'll be an error. A likely environmentally caused error, but an error nonetheless. It'll allow Boucher to reach first. That's a tough one to call an error because it was just the fact that the ball was a little bit wet. The ball rolled across the wet turf. It's still raining here. And so when trying to pull it out of his glove, Yep, Beaster had some trouble because it was slippery. There's nothing he could do about that, but nonetheless, he will earn the error. That could have happened to anyone, is all I'm saying. Anyways, the man reaches safe. Now men on second and third. Or sorry, men on first and third. And Jack Riley up to bat. They're calling him JR. First pitch is low. He will sit on it. 1-0 count. So now this is a big moment here. Harrisburg's been given a second life on that error, and they've got to capitalize on it with a man on third. You've got to score at least one in this inning. A bouncer, and a good job from Sandy to block it. It won't be enough to stop Noah Boucher from taking off to second. Now 2 ran in scoring position and a 2-0 count. Bring up Jack Riley still up 2-0. Luke Larson delivers right down the middle. He's able to locate this time. Now a 2-1 count. Two-one count. Outside. And now to a 3-1 count. Larson only issued the 1 walk in the game. That was at the beginning of this inning. He has hit a batter, but other than that, been pretty good at keeping men off the base on anything but hits. Foul ball, and it is now a full count. This is where Larson wants it. He's been able to strike out 4 in this game. That being said, on 2 strikes last time up, a grounder was induced that ended up being an error. So nothing you can do about that. That should have been the end of the inning if all things were even, but it's wet, and it fell out of Beaster's hands. Beaster probably the most prepared of these players. He has a hoodie on. Didn't help. Grounded over to Beaster again. Misses it. A miss on the grab. Beaster his second consecutive error, and Harrisburg will bring in a run. They cut the lead in half now. And thanks to back-to-back errors on Beaster, this is not quite working for him. Soft grounders. That one just a missed play. The glove in the wrong place. That one had nothing to do with environmental conditions. But back-to-back errors. And now Noah Boucher, who got on by an error, going to be now on third base. With the amount of wild pitches being thrown in the wet conditions too. That's it. It's like a football game in the snow. There's not going to be a lot of passing. Not going to be a lot of passing, a lot of running, you know? So in this game, not going to be a lot of pitching, just a lot of batting. Or not going to be a lot of clean fielding on the grounders. You're going to see a lot of fly ball outs and strikeouts. Larson doesn't like the pressure he's feeling. Sandy wants to give him a couple words here. And Larson going to have a chance here to tie the game for this Harrisburg team. If he gets a double extra base hit, some sort of thing like that, he might even bring home the runner from first. Strike, delivered, taking off to second. The ball will get past him. Coming home is going to be the runner. Beaster throws home. He's late. And the game is tied. Stolen base successful for Jack Riley. And the muffed catch there by second baseman Kai Berkey. Just a big slip and slide out there has left the door open. So eventually this thing working out. I don't think that goes down as an error. They're going to rule it an error. It'll go down as an E4, I want to say. I'm not going to call it an error on the pitcher or on the catcher because that was a pretty good throw all in all. 0-2 count now. Larson just trying to get out of trouble. The best way he can do it is by not putting the ball in play at all and getting a strikeout. He's gotten what should have been like 2 or 3 outs now. This has just been a nightmarish inning for Harrisburg. They got the first 2 outs pretty quick, and since then have been, well, kind of just, fumbling balls and allowing things to happen. Just can't quite get out of the inning. A lot of miscues. 1-2 to Larson. The pitch. A little bit high. Good eye from Tate. He'll send his fellow Larson back to come back with something better.
Want it. Go, Tate.
2-2 count to Tate Larson. Luke Larson delivers. Fouled off his leg. He doesn't seem too affected. Rather large calves. Never mind. He's doing a little bit of the hurt deer thing where they pull up their leg and then try to stretch it out and put it back, So we go to a 2-2 still. He's fine. He is still stretching out that leg, though. That was a foul ball straight off the calf. 2-2 count. Luke Larson, several strikeouts, and Tate Larson plenty of Ks himself. 6 times he struck out in this tournament so far, but this feels like a completely different Harrisburg team than has played the last 3 games. A hit could bring in the go-ahead run. Like I was saying, Harrisburg needed to keep neck and neck, and they have come through, whether it be from the help of the elements or not. They have pulled through and tie this game up. They have a chance to take the lead here with Tate Larson, 2 outs, man on second. 2-2 from Larson. Got a piece of it, and this at-bat will continue. We are now 7 pitches deep into this at-bat.
All right, get yours here. Come on now.
2-2 count. Pitch outside. Larson will sit on it, and now we're looking at a full count. 8 pitches deep, we reach a full count. Tate Larson did a good job defending the play. Like I said, he has been a strikeout-prone guy in this tournament, though. 6 strikeouts to his name over his 10 at-bats. He's just 1 for 10, but this feels like a completely different Tate Larson. Luke Larson delivers. And got a piece of it. We are going to double digits. 9 pitches now here into this at-bat. Tate Larson making Luke work for it. All right. So still a full count. Man on second. Been a very long at bat. This is going to be the 10th pitch. The pitch. Hits him. Larson, for the second time this game, gets hit. And that is the conclusion of what was an incredible at bat. Tate Larson fought off a ton of pitches. 4 foul balls on 2 strikes. And he gets his reward by heading over to first. And this inning still continues. Now Carter Hoffman coming up. Hoffman struck out swinging to Larson his last time.
You're the guy. Come on, Carter.
Some sort of sign being shown. Number 24 for this Lincoln East team. Let me get you that. Let me get you who that is. Oh no, I lost my sheet. This is disastrous. Thank you. No, wrong team. Okay. Where's the shot?
Great hitter in there, Carter.
Oh no, it's in all the papers here. Oh, there it is. Number 24, Keith Knack, going to head out into the outfield. So 1-2 count now to Hoffman. Hoffman, some serious muscle definition on those arms. Carter Hoffman, just a beefy guy, 5'8", 185 pounds. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Larson does get out of the inning, but Harrisburg ties things up in the top of the third. And they are holding pace here with this Spartans team. We'll see the bottom of the third. The Spartans going to get a chance to retake their lead, but I'm impressed by what I've seen so far from the Harrisburg Gold. They've already scored nearly as many points, or nearly as many runs in this game as they have in the entire tournament. Coming into the game, their previous 3 games, they put up only 5 combined runs. Now they're up to 4 in just 3 innings. This is a very different offense. So to recap that inning for the Harrisburg Gold, no hits, 2 runs, neither earned. There were 2 errors, both on the shortstop Harrison Beester, and there was 2 men left on base. So it is 4-4. Coming back out for his 3rd inning of work is Brandon Simonik. He's done all right so far. 4 earned runs, but against this Lincoln East team, that's not awful. A due-up here for Lincoln East, going to be the middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6. Mason Gaines, Ryan Clementi, and Tanner Peterson.
Now batting the center fielder, number 11, Mason Gaines.
Solid now, solid, Tigers. Not a help that guy.
High pitch, 1-0. Simonik had some trouble locating out the gate in both of the first 2 innings. See if he can recover in the 3rd. There is a strike. All right, he throws a strike, so now we're even. Gaines struck out swinging in the 1st, the only strikeout victim so far for Simonik. Ball inside will be taken. Gaines 2 for 10, now 2 for 11 in the tourney. Drives that one into deep left center. It's going to find a gap and head to the wall. Now, rounding second, headed for 3rd. The cutoff man makes the grab, and holding up there, a leadoff triple for Mason Gaines. We'll get the Carpetland Spartans started in the bottom of the 3rd. And I think that if Gaines really hustled for it, he could have gone home. Of course, in these awful conditions, it's hard to make a lot of different plays here. Just kind of bet on chaos, but with nobody out, you might as well just leave him at 3rd. Don't chance it. That being said, inside the park home runs are cool, so you should always try to get one. Ryan Clementi up to bat. He had a walk earlier. Clementi, super senior at Augustana University in South Dakota. 1-0. That is driven into deep right. It'll be caught. It's lined over to the right fielder. Throw home is pretty good, but they will not get him. The tag just a little bit missed by Carlson. It was a good throw, but Carlson had to move away from the bag, go up the baseline, and the slide from Mason Gaines able to get around the tag. So a sacrifice fly will break the tie, and Clementi will get an RBI. Bars. First out is recorded. There's a wild pitch. That would have brought in Clementi anyways, had that last out been some other way. So, that's how it is. Tanner Peterson now looking at a 1-0. That's driven into left. It'll get through. So another single. Up to 5 hits now for this Lincoln East, or 6 hits for this Lincoln East team. Harrisburg been really good on sure-handed on their defense in this tourney. Like I said, they allowed the least errors of any team. Just 1. Error's been a good predictor of who's going to be out soon. The bottom 5 teams in errors committed in the first 3 games are all removed from the tournament now. And the top 3 teams in least errors committed are the 3 remaining. So it's been a pretty good barometer for how good you're doing and how far you'll make it in the tourney. I know there are plenty of more, important things that go into things, but then you look at, this is kind of like one of those counties that always picks the right president that everybody looks at, and you're like, well, it's not the right president winning isn't because of this county. It just happens to be a weirdly good predictor of an outcome. 1-1, swing and a miss, going for second, and a good steal there. So Tanner Peterson gets the stolen base, his first of the tourney. Still 1 out here, 1-2 count to Kai Berkey. Berkey came through with a RBI single up the middle last time. 1-2. Takes the ball outside. Simonik having a little bit of, just hasn't gotten many Ks. Trouble getting that final strike. Just seems to throw one in the zone and then it gets hit. Check swing, strikeout. That'll be it. So there, right as I say it, he proves me wrong. Strike 3 recorded, and Kai Berkey goes down. Second strikeout of the game now for Simonik. It'll bring up Harrison Beester. Beester trying to avenge himself for those 2 errors, even though, one of them was really not his fault. But the 2 errors in the top of the inning costing Harrisburg 2 runs. If he can get one here, they would restore their lead. If he was able to bring in a run, a good single would do the trick. He got one in his last time up. All the birds are all tucked into their nests right now. That's hit high and deep into right, to the wall, and off of it. So now headed over to second. Beester will get a double, and he does come through. The Spartans retake a 2-run lead. Beester redeems himself, and if he can come in, he'll be just as many runs contributed to as he has allowed with all of that. So a double brings in another run here. 2-out double. Some clutch hitting, bringing in Tanner Peterson. This is kind of just going to have to be a shootout for Harrisburg. These bats for carpet land cannot be cooled down, apparently. And the 9-hole hitter, Sandy, is now up. Sandy doing a pretty good job in this tourney. 2 for 7. Home run, a double. He had that 2 RBI double his last time up. Also has a couple walks to his name. 0-1 count. They throw back. He was way off, but the throw high from Simonik. And we go to 0-1. Like I said, a serious amount of Harrisburg fans out here supporting. A couple of Lincoln Easters, I see them over there, but significantly more in the Tigers / Gold side of the picture. That being said, they are within the state, so a far easier commute. The 4 or 5 hours from Harrisburg to Rapid City, that's a foul ball. Then the 8.5 from Lincoln. 1-2. Also a weekend, so some people probably woke up at like 8 got on the road. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the final out of the inning, so it doesn't matter if Beaster takes off for third. And so that'll be the third strikeout of the game now for pitcher Brandon Simonik. Sandy goes down. And to recap that inning for Lincoln East, they retake the lead. They have 3 hits. They score 2 runs. Both of them go down as earned. There were no errors, and 1 man was left on. It is 6-4 after 3 innings. So a ton of batting here, a ton of hitting, a lot of base runners in this game so far. Harrisburg proven that they are trying to keep in this thing. They're definitely they've been holding pace so far, which is quite impressive. Coming out of the losers bracket like that against this undefeated Carpetland Spartans team. But they've got to keep it up. This is the kind of thing Missoula, when they made an upset over Next Level Baseball in the Firecracker tournament, Missoula beat that number 18 nationally ranked team from Asheville, North Carolina. Missoula, who was 25-24 entering the game, what they had to do was they had an early lead. They held on for a little bit, and then about the 5th, they went down 1. They put up 3. Then they went down again in the 6th, and they came back, put up 3 more, and then in the bottom of the 7th, down by 2 runs, they came through, tied the game, went to extras, and after allowing just 1 run in the top of the inning, were able to come through. So it's just about incrementally doing it. It's so much easier said than done, but just you have to get up after every punch is thrown if you're going to beat a team like this.
Leading up down the 4th from Tigers is left fielder number 8,
Cone Cook leading off this inning. He's had a pretty good tournament, 3 for 7. Top batter on this Harrisburg Gold team. All of those are singles, but hey, all he needs is a single right now. Some wild legs going on out there from the man running to the bullpen. Maybe a stretching maneuver. Maybe just having some fun with it. These are all just, kids playing a game. So 1-1 count. In the dirt, make it 2-1. Cone Cook leading off the inning. On deck, the leadoff man, Palmer Boyd. That's a strike in the bottom left corner. Able to paint it is Larson. Luke Larson out for his 4th inning of work. Not been, the prettiest start, but hey, you got a lead. Why not keep on pitching? Obviously, these Lincoln East Spartans a little bit dry in their pitching staff, having pitched, pitched 3 really good starters to start out this tournament, and probably saving 1 for the championship game tomorrow. That's taken at the knees, called strike 3. Painting the bottom of the zone is going to be Luke Larson. That is K number 6, and just the first one looking for Larson. That'll bring up Palmer Boyd. Boyd, rough tourney before, but hey, he's 1 for 2 in this game. We got to focus on the now. This Harrisburg team, a completely different team in this game statistically than in any of the other games. They pretty much put up as many runs in this game as they have in any other game, in all the other games combined. One count to Palmer Boyd.
Go, Palmer.
One count. Behind his back. So standing upright and getting out the way is going to be Palmer Boyd. Sandy reaches around him and grabs it on the other side. That's hit high and deep into left. It's going to the track, and it will be caught by the center fielder for Lincoln East. That is Mason Gaines. That one nearly got out of here. Big high fly ball went about 374, 75 to left center, the deepest part of the park, and came up just a few feet shy. So that was a very long fly out. Very scary if you're a fan of carpet land. That's going to be nubbed into foul territory. First baseman, Vasco makes the grab. So 1-2-3 inning, not without a little bit of suspense. And nobody scores for the Gold. And for the first time in this game since, well, I mean, not the first time, but, it is the first time. Coming into the bottom of the inning, Carpetland holds a lead. So we've reached the halfway point. It's a very close game. The Carpetland Spartans leading by a narrow margin of just 2 runs. Harrisburg holding in tight, trying to give the champion of Nebraska their first loss and extend their season. No matter what, Harrisburg had a great year, won their first state title, can't complain. So to recap that inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no errors, nobody left on base, and still stays 6-4. Lincoln East hitting hot right now. They have 3 hits in both of their last 2 innings and have scored a combined 6 runs between those two. So we enter the bottom of the 4th, trying to extend that lead for Carpetland. The top of the order is due up, Lasig, Vasco, and Springer. So as good as this Carpetland team is, you do have to realize that it could be even better. They have 2 D1 commits and 1 all-state member that are not here, that went to the area code games in, I believe it was San Diego, for, right now. So they are missing 2 of their best players, and they're still this good. If they are able to come back after the area code games for the for Shelby, this team has a real shot at winning that national title, winning the Legion World Series. So a strike right down the middle. Simonic, for the first time, throws a strike to start out the inning. It's put right back at him! Simonic, the reaction time, bobbles it a little and makes the grab. So a hit right back at him, able to do it, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Great play from Brandon Simonic. Bring up AJ Avasco. Avasco, 1 for 1 in this game, or 1 for 2 in this game. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first. First pitch, called ball. No, called strike, I'm wrong. Avasco got a serious power swing to him. Ball at the shoes, make it 1-1. I do see somebody heading out to warm up in the dugout out there. Or in the bullpen. Big swing and a miss from Avasco at 1 on the floor. Now a 1-2 count. The man heading out is, once again, Keith Kanak for this Lincoln, Nebraska squad. 1-2. High and outside. Resting on it is Avasco. Avasco, the big lefty. Kansas State Wildcat commit. Driving right up the middle to Palmer Boyd. So 2 hard hit balls find their way into gloves, and those will be the first 2 outs of the inning. A little bit of fortune turning the way of Harrisburg here in the bottom of the 4th. It'll bring up Springer. He's just trying not to hit a hard one right at somebody in this one. That would be something if it happened 3 times in the same inning. A very strange situation happened yesterday. The post-22 hard hats and, it was the same. It was post-22 hard hats. Post-22 hard hats and Harrisburg Gold played the final 2 innings, and for the 7th inning, there were 6 total pitches for both sides of the inning. They got all 6 outs on 6 consecutive pitches. It was a 3-pitch top of the inning and a 3-pitch bottom of the inning. A rarity you might not see again. Because it just takes one person just saying, I don't want to get out like those guys, and taking a ball to ruin that whole thing. 2-1. Very high pitch. Gets away. Doesn't really matter. Nobody's on base. That ball takes a seat right there. Coming in hot. On deck circle. Not messing around. He's sprinting around. That is... that man, not on my roster sheet. Oh, that's Ryan Clemente. Grounded over to third. Bounce in the dirt! Hoffman thought he had it. He was still looking ahead, and after thinking he scooped it, it bounced out of his glove. He really didn't have any clue it was gone until his teammates started to, wide-eye. So the first error of the game, second of the entire tournament, comes for Harrisburg there on Carter Hoffman. That was a very reasonable throw. Oh, that was St. Mike's Carpetland game. Yeah, that was crazy. I was trying to put it back together. We did 3 games yesterday at Hard Hats TV. That's a strike. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever see that again. Oh, 1. Now up to bat, Mason Gaines. Gaines came through with a leadoff triple and run in the bottom of the 4th, or the bottom of the 3rd. Now we're in the bottom of the 4th. So just last inning, he got a triple. He's 3 for 12 on the tournament, batting .250. Leading off the first is Springer. He has a little bit of speed. Swatted foul, and we will remain 0-2. Mason Gaines fights off the pitch. A very chilly day out here in Rapid City. And if you're wondering, yep, still raining. It's been raining this whole time, but it's been at such a low pace that it never really puddles or pools or flash floods or anything. That's going to get away. Ball goes wide, and that'll bring Springer over to second. Mason Gaines awaiting the 1-2. Umpire gives him a ball in the dugout to dry off. 1-2. He likes the call. Some on it. Swing and a miss! There's a reason he liked it, and that'll be out number 3. So nobody scores for the first time since the first inning for Lincoln, and the first time in any inning that nobody scores at all. So we will go into the final 3 frames. Still a very tight game. Harrisburg down by 2, going to try to equalize or take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. They've kept themselves in this thing. We've reached the back half, and now they just got to finish. So to recap that inning for Lincoln East, they the Carpetland Spartans. No hits, no runs, no earned runs. 1 error on the first baseman, Carter Hoffman, for the gold. And 1 man left on. It remains 6-4. Coming back out for his 5th inning of work after a very shaky start is Luke Larson. He's got to be getting pretty high on his pitch count. Harrisburg running him up in a ton, and then Larson also getting a lot of Ks, which, of course, every strikeout kind of requires you to pitch quite a few pitches.
Hitting up top of the Tigers regular, number 15, Tegan Moss.
Tegan Muntz will lead off this inning for Harrisburg. 1 for 5, 3 walks. So he's 500 OBP. That one bounces over the fence into the dugout. Nobody harmed. Just hits a whole bunch of water off of the net. Yeah. Some birds are cuddling in on their nests here. Oh my gosh, is that a 4th one this year? Oh, a foul ball to the giblets yet again. That's the 2nd time this tourney. This keeps happening. I swear it was St. Michael a couple days ago where this happened again. This is the fourth broadcast of the year where a catcher has taken a foul ball off the family jewels that I've been able to be a part of. Which I think I'm at 96 broadcasts this year for Hard Hats TV. Yes. I think I'm at 96, which would mean that statistically, there's like a 4% chance that a catcher is going to get one to their sensitive area. Maybe even 5% chance that that's going to happen. So, you know, you pull in, I mean, that's 1 in 20. That's really not that rare. And so it's just rough. I guess that's part of being a catcher, but it's strange that it keeps on happening so often. And that's 2 times in the last 3 days for me. And they're really checking in on him. Sandy, gonna take a deep breath in immense pain, as one would imagine. He's gonna lay on his side, hand off the water bottle he was given. Trying to see if his groin still works. It does. Yeah, I know. It didn't end up working out too well. Fargo fade a
Round of applause.
Fargo did not have it. They're going to come. Round of applause for Sandy. He's going to remain in the game. But yeah, the mics went crazy. They sure did. Fargo's hitting woes just, were too much, I guess. They put up 7 runs, but still. They allowed 20 hits. So it's going to be St. Michael versus whoever wins this game tomorrow morning. If it's Carpet Land, then St. Michael's going to play him. Carpet Land's just got to win one of 2 games tomorrow to get to Shelby. And if Harrisburg wins this one, Harrisburg will play St. Michael in the morning, and Carpet Land will play the winner of that game. A couple of, warm-up pitches yet again for Sandy, making sure that he's all right. Umpire showing quite a bit of sympathy there. I totally get it. Tough one, especially for those with the Y chromosome. 0-2 to Tegan Muntz. We are back underway. Outside, ball 1. Shh. That was pretty crazy. It wasn't quite dead center. It was left center, but it was pretty wild. It was to the deepest part of the park anyways, and a no-doubter at that. That is crushed up the line and foul. That was a very hard hit ball. That got into the corner in a hurry, but it did go foul. They're saying, hey, some time, because the left fielder for Carpet Land, Owen Lasig, going to go out there, fetch that foul ball, make sure that nobody, that nobody has to go and trip on it or anything running around out there. One, 2. Ball in the dirt, make it 2-2. Fouled. Full count. Payoff pitch goes wide.
Now batting the third baseman, number 17, Maddox Shear.
All right. So the opening man will walk here for Harrisburg, putting the tying run at the plate with the cleanup man, Maddox Shearer. Shearer had that triple back in the first inning. Hit high and deep to left, going towards the wall. It is out of here! The game is all tied up. That wall scraper to left will get out just a little bit beyond that there wall. And the game is tied. Maddox Shearer, the first home run of the tournament for Harrisburg. And we're all knotted at 6-6. Still no outs in this inning. They're going to go check on Luke Larson like with the end of his day. Harrisburg not ready to give up. They are making a real contention case here. They are playing a completely different game than they had the last three, trying to match tit for tat on the offensive end instead of defensive. And they now tie things up with nobody out in the top of the fifth. That one, I really didn't think it was going to get out. I was even contemplating, because it was hit so high. The launch angle on that thing was maybe 30 degrees, when it's supposed to be about 22 in order to get out. That was just so high. I think if that ball had, the exit velocity had to be crazy on that thing. I think if that ball was hit with the optimal launch angle, that thing goes 400. Maddox Shearer gave that thing a ride, and it definitely helped to have the wind going out to right. Wind at all kind of helping a little bit. It's heading out to right, so like right center, I guess you could say. So wind there, and then yeah. So we're here, and now we have a new pitcher. Lincoln South brings in Keith Knock. Both of my guesses were entirely wrong. So Keith Knock now on the mound.
Now batting the Tigers, the second baseman, number 14, O'Shea.
And now, time here for Harrisburg to get a chance to take the lead. Noah Boucher is 1 for 1 in this game. Got a single back in the first, reached on an error, came around to score all the way from first in the third inning. Foul ball, make it 0-1. 0-2 count. Boucher trying to start off something. This is pretty much a brand new inning. There's nothing out here. He's essentially batting leadoff again. High pitch, ball 2. That goes low, and now we have a We have ourselves a full count from 0-2 to full. Noah Boucher smacks that one into right. And Harrisburg starting it up. They're looking for a lead here. They're not satisfied with the tie. Still nobody out in this inning. And off of the new pitcher, Canuck, Noah Boucher able to get his second hit in as many at-bats. It'll bring up Jack Riley. Riley had that homer the other day. That ended up winning him the game against Williston post 37 Keybirds. Pitch inside. And now we go to a 1-0 count. Riley, last time, grounded into what should have been an out. An error from Harrison Beester allowed it to continue, and a run came in to score. 1-0. That's driven into center. It's going back, and it will be caught. So that'll be the out. That one I felt like was hit harder than the other one, but clearly not. It just sounded harder off of the bat. So the first out of the inning is recorded there on a Jack Riley fly out to center. Boucher leading off of first now with Tate Larson up to bat. Tate taking a pair of bruises to first his last 2 times. Outside, make it 1-0. That's a strike. We go to 1-1. Thanks to all the family members and volunteers who make Post 22 baseball possible, and of course the always willing to help out the Hard Hats TV broadcasts. 1-1 count. Got a piece of it. Larson fouls it off. Canuck trying to keep this thing tied. One-two count. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That'll be the second out of the inning. Canuck gets his first K. The inning not over by any means yet. As we saw in the bottom of the third. The top of the third. 2 outs does not mean this thing is almost over. And coming up now, Carter Hoffman. Hoffman struck out both times he was up. K number 4 and number 5 of the day for the Harrisburg, or for Luke Larson, the starter for the Carpetland Spartans. We're at a 1-0 count. Soft grounder, foul. We now move to 1-1. Thank you all for tuning in to Hard Hats TV today, spending your Saturday evening with us. The compact Carter Hoffman takes strike 2 on the edge of the plate. And now it's a 1-2 count. Canuck just a strike away from getting out of this mess with a tie. A 2-run homer earlier in the inning from Maddox Shearer, able to tie things up for the South Dakota State champs. 2-2. Canuck delivers. Grounded up the line, foul. Just a little bit. And so coming back will be the runner, Boucher. And so now we go to a 2-2 count. pitch. Fouled off of himself. One off the calf of Hoffman. But forcing Carter Hoffman to continue. We get a "Let's Go Carter" here from the Harrisburg supporters in the stands, which there are many of. 2-2. High and away. We go to a full count now. Hoffman works it. The payoff pitch. Grounded foul. And we are now 8 pitches deep in this at-bat. And pitch number 9 upcoming here. With the full count and 2 outs, immediately once this pitch is thrown, Riley is going to take off. And it'll be high and away. So after 9 pitches, Hoffman gets enough fouls and stares at enough balls to get out of trouble, get on base, and 2 men on now with 2 out. It'll bring up Cone Cook. Cone overdue for a hit. He entered the game batting .500. He is now batting 3 for 8, which is still very good. .375. Nobody covering first for a pickoff play. So don't have to worry about that because we're not expecting a double steal. Cook, the first pitch. That's right down central, and we go to an 0-1. A 1 count. Popped up into foul territory. Charging after it is Canuck and Tabasco and Sandy. None of them get there in time. And the at-bat will continue up to 2 strikes. Canuck just looking for that final out. Harrisburg trying to take their first lead in a minute, since all the way back in the first inning. 0-2. High pitch, 1-2. Canuck trying to get the 9-hole hitter out. On deck, the guy you don't want to face, Palmer Boyd, the leadoff man. A little bit early on that one. Fouls it off. So 1-2 count. Wait, why did I add an extra ball? Never mind. Cone Cook to 1-2. Stepping off the mound. Maybe to recollect himself, maybe to check on runners. I'm not too afraid of Harrisburg stealing here. They'll take off when they get to a full count, but no takeoff at any contact, obviously, with 2 outs here. But I don't think they're going to try to make a steal attempt. Grounded over to third. It is muffed. He still muffs it, and everybody's safe. A slippery ball. Slips right through the fingers of the Lincoln East third baseman, Tanner Peterson. And despite getting a ball right at him, right along the line and about 2 feet from first base, it is not picked up in time, and the bases are loaded. These wet conditions keep on playing into Harrisburg Gold's advantage. The 4th error of the game now for the Carpetland Spartans. We'll bring up Palmer Boyd with the bases loaded. Chance to do exactly what he did in the first inning and give Harrisburg a lead. Go down as an E5. Second error of the game on... Right? Am I crazy? Never mind. First error of the game on Peterson. Canuck throws one. Duck and cover. That one over his head. So we go to a 1-0 now. It would be a long trip home. They do have a loss to give, but if they're trying to get to Shelby, they cannot afford to lose. They probably shouldn't lose this game. I mean, technically they can afford to, and then they get to play the winner of Harrisburg versus St. Michael tomorrow. But going into the final day against St. Michael, making them use some of their later pitchers in the rotation and getting 2 shots at them, you'd really help out your odds if you can win this game today. I can give you a scoring summary for everything if you just tuned in. I'll do that at the end of this inning. So bases are loaded with 2 outs. A big moment here for Palmer Boyd to give Harrisburg the lead. If Canuck is able to strand the runners, we would be looking at a completely different game as well. That would be a turning point for the pitching here. He almost did in the last on that grounder, but yet again, a 2-out error extends things, and it might lead to more runs. Ball outside, 3-1 count. A go-ahead run, just 1 ball away from coming home as Palmer Boyd is ready. Palmer has not taken a single walk in this tournament so far. He is 1 for 14. No walks, no hit by pitches. That is going to be fouled off, and we go full. So everybody get a charge everywhere as soon as the pitch is delivered. There's a chance for even a single to bring in 2 or 3 runs with everybody taking an early jump. Nothing to wait on. A walk will bring home a run anyways. A hit will do something else, and if it's a K, no harm done. So everybody going to go run. Fouled, or no, not fouled, it's nubbed over to the pitcher. Handled, throw to first is high, but caught. Avasco reaches up into the heavens, pulls that one down, and nobody scores in the nobody scores out of those bases loaded situation. 2-run score in the top of the 5th. Harrisburg able to tie it up. Canuck gets out of a little bit of trouble though. And going into the bottom of the 5th, it is a tie game here in the regional Central Plains Regional Tournament. Harrisburg gold, proving why they won South Dakota. So to recap that inning for the Harrisburg Gold, 2 hits turn into 2 runs. Both of those runs are earned to the previous pitcher, Luke Larson. There's an error on the 3rd baseman, Tanner Peterson, for the Spartans. Their 4th error of the game. And 3 men are left aboard. It is 6-6. So I'll give you that scoring I'll give you a scoring summary for each inning. In the first inning, Harrisburg scored 2 to the Carpet Land nothing. They took a 2-0 lead. Then nobody scored in the top of the 3rd for Harrisburg. Carpet Land retook, not only tied the game, they took the lead. They went up 4-2. Then in the 3rd inning, both teams put up 2 runs. So Harrisburg equalized at the top of the 3rd, and Lincoln retook a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 3rd. Nobody scored at all in the 4th. It remained 6-4. And then here at the top of the 5th, things are tied up with a 2-run single, or a 2-run homer from the 3rd baseman, Maddox Shearer. That's hit hard into right and tracked down. That'll be out number 1. So a fly out to right for Ryan Clemente will start this thing out. You're just behind.
Third baseman, number 14, Tanner Peterson.
Tanner Peterson. Now up. He had that error that extended the inning. Definitely let a lot of possibilities keep on going, but there was nothing ended up happening as the nubber went over to Canuck, threw to first, ball taken at the eyes, and now it's a 2-0 count. A walk would be just fine. There's nobody on the bases to drive in. And that is a strike over the inside of the plate. So now we go to a 2-1 count. Thank you all for tuning in to Hard Hats TV here. I'm Oliver Fell. Bringing you Central Plains regional coverage. We bring you every game. This is the final game of the day. We will have one, maybe two games tomorrow. If Harrisburg wins, which it might be at this point, they're holding steady with the undefeated Carpetland Spartans. Hard hit ball right at the right fielder. And two flyouts to right will be the first 2 outs of the inning.
Second baseman, number 2, Kai Berkey.
Tegan Muntz, just a ball magnet out there right now. Bring up Kai Berkey. Berkey had a RBI single back in the second to tie up the game. That's a strike. Go to 0-1. He also came around to score to bring in the go-ahead run for Lincoln East, also in the bottom of the second. Soft grounder back to the mound. Handled cleanly. Throw to first in time. A quick 1-2-3 inning. A perfect inning at that. Thrown by Keith Canuck. Sorry, Canuck is here. I was wrong. Wait, no, that was still Simonic. Brandon Simonic. I had it wrong. So Simonic, yep, he gets out of it. He's gone through 5 innings now. St. Michael had a pretty much I would agree, St. Michael, very strong pitching, but I don't know. In terms of pitching today, Fargo, a team that couldn't hit, who was the 7th best in batting average, able to put up 7 runs. The offense came through. But most of those runs coming at the beginning of the game when, there was a real emphasis on the lead and whatnot. The back end of the St. Michael order or St. Michael rotation going to be tested here in the upcoming day. Or tomorrow, I guess. That's one way to say it. So quick 1-2-3 inning. No hits, no runs, no earned runs, no gold errors, and nobody left on base. Remains 6-6. We enter the final 2 frames here in the top of the 6th. Harrisburg tied. Gonna get a chance to take the lead here in the top of the 6th. This I don't know whether or not St. Michael was even rooting for this, because it would remove 1 loss, so everybody would be on an even playing field. But then they got to play Harrisburg in the morning, and they don't even get to be guaranteed to show up in a championship game. I don't know what they're rooting for, because Harrisburg looks dangerous right now. And that's a strike. Max Carlson up to bat. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a hard swing. Came up with nothing but wind. Now we go to an 0-2. Canuck. High pitch. Make it 1-2. Harrisburg already scored more runs in this game than they did in the rest of the games in this tournament combined. They had just 5 over their first 3 games, and now they've got 6 in this one, and we're only through 5 innings. 2-2. Now to the leadoff man, Carlson. He did strike out earlier, grounded up the middle, and a bouncer. Good play. Avasco digs it out the dirt. Beaster bounces one over to him. Out number 1 recorded. So first out of the inning for Canuck will bring up Tegan Muntz. Muntz, a above 500 OBP now. He has taken 4 walks in this tournament. He took 2 in his last 2 at-bats. A swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Pulling the string on that one. I noticed a lot of Harrisburg parents. I don't know if it's cold. I don't know if it's they're excited. Most of them on their feet right now in anticipation. This would be a really big upset for this Harrisburg team, beating the undefeated team here after coming out, winning 2 games in the losers bracket and losing their first one. 0-2. That is smoked into center. Going back to the wall. It will be caught. Wow. That was a hard hit ball right down the middle. And just so happened that ranging out there is Mason Gaines for Lincoln East. That was one that would have gotten out to a lot of different parts of the park. That one probably about 370 out to dead center, but not enough. So that's the second one that nearly got out in 2 innings. A nearly home run from Jack Riley. Or sorry, not Jack Riley, in the Palmer Boyd in the bottom of the 4th, or the top of the 4th. Gonna come talk to Canuck. I'm sure the pitcher a little bit, the pitching coach for Lincoln East a little bit startled by that hit being allowed, even if it turned into an out. Let me look at the little chart I've got. Meow. Okay. Now up to bat is Maddox Shearer. Drives one over to short. Muffed by Beester. He throws to first. Not in time. That is the 3rd error of the game on Harrison Beester. And this sloppy defense, even in the sloppy conditions, probably going to spell. I mean, that's not the kind of thing that winning teams do. 5 errors in the game. You rarely see a team win with that many. St. Michael Mikes did this morning, but that was on the back of 20 hits. So, I mean, it's a different situation here. Beester was not in any, didn't have anything like that. No errors for any of the first 3 games. But now he's up to 3 in just this one. And it's not even over. So 2 outs, 1 out. It seems to only happen, you only get out errors with the 2 outs. That's a strike. Always seems to happen. And his pair of errors back in the 2nd inning, or back in the 3rd inning, turned into 2 runs, which currently are now what ties this Harrisburg team to Lincoln East. That's funny. All right. Okay. Noah Boucher up to bat. He is 2 for 2 in this game. Also reached on an error to Beester and came around to score. So batting 1,000 in this one. Boucher didn't have a hit in any of the games before this. Woke up a new man. 1-1. Make it a high pitch, 2-1. That is tattooed into left. A very hard hit ball. And we go to a 2-1 count. Or not 2-1 count. That is the 2nd hit here of the inning. The first hit of the inning. Sorry, 2 men on. I'm losing it. Jack Riley up to bat. So 2 men on now with 2 outs. The go-ahead run in scoring position. Keep on exchanging out these balls. They are wet. We are still experiencing a little bit of drizzle. This whole game has been constant light rain. Grounded to third. It is handled cleanly. He will step on the bag, and that'll be the inning. So, nobody scores for Harrisburg. They are unable to take the lead in the top of the 6th. And going into the bottom of the 6th, Spartans going to get their turn to take the lead as well. This tie held up, and both of these teams just jostling for whatever they can get.
One lead there, 2 runners left on base. Going to the bottom of the 6th. We're still not up. 6-6.
So Jack Riley there with the ground out to third base. Now we are looking at to recap that inning for the Harrisburg Gold. 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, 1 error on the shortstop Harrison Beester, and 2 men are left on. It is still knotted at 6-6. Harrisburg this close, this late, better than a lot of people would have expected them. Getting the losers bracket team that came out against this undefeated Carpetland squad from Nebraska. They're trying to do something that the other 2 state champions couldn't, and knock off Carpetland.
Picking up from the 6th garage, the shortstop number 5, Harrison Beester.
Okay. So in the bottom of the 6th, leading off is going to be Harrison Beester. He made that error in the top of the inning, didn't end up turning into anything, but still. First pitch ball. Beester is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. Puts that one, grounder over to second. Out number 1 recorded. Quick first out. That's been Simonic's MO for the last few innings. He hasn't allowed anything in 2.5 innings. And Landon Sandy now up. He had a 2-run double to the wall in the last one, or in the second inning. He is 1 for 2 on the day, 2 for 7 on the tournament. Ball 1 in the dirt. Pitch. Simonic throws one just a little bit low, so it's 2-0 now. That wind picking up, probably hitting about 20 again. 20 miles per hour. Just reference. That's a strike on the top right corner. Good location from Simonic. Simonic, after starting the game a little bit shaky, proving to be the guy Harrisburg wants out there. A swing and a miss, strike 2. All right, 2-2 count. Sandy. Up and away. Another example of a left-handed catcher. That's kind of a thing that people don't really like. A lot of managers usually like lefties because they're good and mix up the composition of your batting order. Chopped over to short, handled cleanly. Boyd throw to first is a little off, but caught by Hoffman, and that'll be out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Simonik in the top of the inning.
Lasik.
Owen Lasik, the leadoff man, going to come up. He does not have a hit today. Strike. Beautiful curveball finds the inside of the plate. Now an 0-1. Hard and foul. And now down in the count 0-2 is Lasik. Lasik has not struck out in this game, only struck out once in his 13 at-bats in this tourney. All right, Simonik, the 0-2. It is fouled off. We will continue. So the 0-2. Simonik throws one high and over the head of Owen Lasik. And that'll be the first ball of the at-bat. That is going to be a K. So strike 3 swinging. And Simonik pitches another perfect inning. It's been 3 innings now since Carpetland has put up anything on the scoreboard. And we go into the final frame. Harrisburg Gold knotted, tied here 6-6 in this great game against the Carpetland Spartans. Carpetland on the ropes here against the team from the losers bracket. Harrisburg not going away. And we'll see what they can do now in the top of the 7th. Shout out to Brandon Simonik. He really settled into things, became an elite pitcher that this Harrisburg Gold team needed. Silencing the bats of the highest scoring offense in the first 3 games of this tourney. I don't really know how St. Michael feels about this. I'd be interested to see, because on one hand, everybody's on 1 loss, and you don't have to play Carpetland like twice and let them learn you and whatnot. You don't have to do that. But also, you have to play the Gold in the morning, right? And they could very well beat you, you know? That being said, they did beat them 4-0 in the opening game. But this is a different team with a different offense, and the pitchers are not going to be as fresh, as they're going to have to reach into their bag. Their first 3 starters, who were Dynamite, Ashton Groves, Zachary Holinsky, and Roden, I don't remember his first name, they're all not going to be available for tomorrow's game due to pitch count limitations. Low pitch, and now we go to 3-0. A leadoff walk as good as a leadoff single in baseball. That's wild. And so the go-ahead run reaches base here for Harrisburg. Tate Larson reaches, and they're going to go talk to Canuck. I didn't see any warm-up in the bullpen, but they are going to pull someone. So Canuck is going to leave. Keith Canuck finishes the game here. And now coming in to pitch. Let me get a number real quick. Waiting to see the back of a jersey. And I haven't. We are seeing number 19 out there. No, it's just Springer. So Garrett Springer moving from DH to first base. And And setting up for the Carpetland Spartans, we've got Tanner Peterson. So Vasco moves to third. Springer comes from DH to first. And on the mound now, Tanner Peterson. Oh, wow. So Idaho not going to even have a team at the All-Asian World Series after Idaho Falls nearly three-peated. So Vasco now to third with Garrett Springer to first and Peterson to the mound. The third pitcher today for this Carpetland Spartans team. They're running pretty thin as this is day number 4 out of 5 in this tournament. And of course they did the state tournament and whatnot. Already threw 3 starters who did tremendous jobs in their respective games. Okay, Carter Hoffman is getting ready. He walked his last time up after working his way in the count and drawing the 9-pitch at bat into a walk. Got a man on first with nobody out here. Harrisburg trying to take a lead and give their pitcher a something they can work with to close out the game in the bottom of the inning. They throw back to first, not in time. A bunt attempted to be put down and missed by Carter Hoffman. It'll be the first strike. A sacrifice bunt, unsuccessful. Nobody was covering first as they came in to try to cover the bunt. So the pickoff attempt at first not going to be in time for anything. Larson, fast. He already stole a base in this game. Hoffman, grounder over to second, to short. Now, throw to first, in time! And that'll be out numbers 1 and 2. The double play. Big there for the Spartans. The brand new relief pitcher, Tanner Peterson, comes in clutch with a 4-6-3 double play, erasing the leadoff runner and making it a lot harder for this Harrisburg team to take the lead in the top of the 7th here. First pitch is a ball. We're pitching to Cone Cook. Cook 0 for 2, reached on an error his last time up. Strike. It should be noted Harrisburg has been able to consistently draw errors from this Lincoln East defense on 2 outs. Pitch a little outside. We go to a 2-1. Umpires talking to each other or something. Oh no, they were just a man in the outfield was doing something weird. So it's a 2-1 count. Inside, no, called strike on a ball that the batter Cook thought was going to hit him. And it's a 2-2 count. In the dirt, we run full. Full count now to Cone Cook. Harrisburg trying to take the lead here in the top of the 7th. It's lined to the second baseman. He slides, throws to first. It's offline. He slipped as he was throwing it on the wet turf. Through no fault of his own, after a great sliding play, Kai Berkey tries to throw over to Springer at first and slips on the turf in these wet conditions, allowing the man to reach first. Like I said, plenty of errors coming along when you just can't. Plenty of errors coming along for Harrisburg on 2 outs. That is the 6th error of the game. That one on Berkey through no fault of his own. but it was an error. I mean, it should have been a play made. Taking off, they got a pick off. The throw is into left, and he will stay. So a stolen base for Cone Cook, and the go-ahead run now just now on second base in scoring position. They nearly had an out there. The throw from Springer bounces, gets past the shortstop Beaster. And the leadoff man, Palmer Boyd, being asked to come through, be the hero here. Harrisburg, they walked off the state championship in the bottom of the 7th. They're a clutch team that comes through in big moments. Can they do it here in the top of the 7th of the Central Plains Regional? Foul ball. Strike one. Oh, 1. The 0-1 count. Boyd is ready. Pitcher checks on the runner. Inside pitch. Laid off on, and we go 1-1. The curveball just a little inside. Misses the plate. The sign given to Springer. He relays it. Or sorry, Sandy. Sandy relays it to the pitcher Peterson. A single to the right place could give Harrisburg the lead here in the final inning of this game. Well, it could go to extras, but, 1-1. That's hit high and deep into left center. It's going back to the wall. It is caught! Wow! What a play from Mason Gaines. He ranges all the way to the track in left center. That one comes up just a little bit short of the wall. And so that'll be the inning. That was a scary moment for Spartans fans. A close call for Harrisburg. And now Spartans going to have a chance in the bottom of the inning to walk it off. You do have to wonder. The wind is pushing out to left now, so you can't say that the wind wasn't at its back. There's a lot of wind, too. But wet conditions, kind of misty. The humidor is supposed to do that exact thing. Anyways. So that'll be it. Now, that's the third one that's been warning track material. The second one by Palmer Boyd. He had one in the 4th that was also on the warning track in dead center. Mason Gaines able to get out there for the final out. So to recap that inning for Harrisburg, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, 1 error on the second baseman Berkey, and there is 1 man left on base. It remains 6-6, and now, do we have a new pitcher? We do. Relieving the starter, Brandon Simonik, is going to be number 16. Wait, is that what I'm seeing? Is that Noah Boucher? It is. Noah Boucher going to go to the mound now. He will relieve Simonik. Simonik finishes the game pitching 6 innings pitched with how many of the runs were earned? Let me see. There was only 1 error, but I think it was in the play. 5 earned runs. That's it. Okay, 5 earned runs. 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, and how many Ks? 5. He also pitched 3 scoreless innings. These last 3 innings here to keep this one drawn at 6. So, Harrisburg, with their season on the line, going to get a chance to pitch to the probably the strongest part of the Spartans lineup, the 2, 3, and 4. That due-up is Avasco, Springer, and Gaines. The big lefty Avasco comes to the plate. He won the game for Carpet Land over St. Michael the other day. That is hit hard into right. It will drop. It'll be handled by the right fielder, though, so only one base allowed, but the walk-off run is now aboard. Coming up, the Missouri State commit, Garrett Springer. He is a catcher. So, I know this isn't an absolute rule, but catcher, not typically your fastest position. Meaning that double play ball could be possible here for Harrisburg. The third baseman playing in, expecting a bunt, and the bunt shown and pulled back. So it's a first ball, 1 out. The third base coach for Carpet Land calls a 4. High pitch taken. Make it 2 out. Now a 2 out. It gets to the backstop. Avasco heads over to second. The tying run is, or the go-ahead run slash walk-off run is now on second base here in the bottom of the 7th. 3 consecutive balls for the reliever. The reliever Boucher. The season on the line. Harrisburg loses this and they take a bus ride back to finish off what has ultimately been a great season and their first ever regional, which they clearly have shown out in. So, that's a 4-pitch walk. It puts the force out back in effect, though. You had a base to give, and the thing is, that second runner does not matter. The only one that matters is the one on second, because if the guy on, sure, if you got more guys on, but you get more force outs, and the man on second base, if he comes in, the game's over. It doesn't matter what the other one does. So Mason Gaines puts down a bunt, a good one at that. It's going to be picked up. The throw to first, not in time. It was a little bit slow. The pitcher, Boucher, takes too long, and the bases are loaded with nobody out here for Carpet Land in the bottom of the 7th. Infield single by Mason Gaines on a bunt will load the bases with nobody out. Going to be a very tough getaway for Boucher, especially with Ryan Clemente, the Augustana Viking, ready at the plate. Strike there. Any sort of hard contact into the outfield, into the right, to the right ground out situation could end this game right here. 0-1. Ball outside. 1-1. You also have to watch out. A walk would also end things. Swing and a miss. That's what you need. You need Ks. You need Ks and pop-outs. You need outs that won't advance people. So it's a 1-2. Boucher does not have a K in the game. He only just came in, though. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The stretch-out slider successful, and that'll be the first out. That's exactly what Boucher needed to do. Now a double play would end things here in force extras. Still not a comfy position, but that is exactly what Boucher needed to do. It'll bring up Tanner Peterson. Peterson trying to give himself the win. He was the pitcher in the top of the inning. He would earn the win if he got this, not only for his team, but for the pitching side of himself. Pitch from Boucher. Outside. Good work from the catcher. That is scary. If Carlson lets that go by to the backstop, Avasco charges in, and the game is over. That's the end of your season. 1-0 count. A double play ball would end the inning and force extras. Infield playing in. Bunt shown. Hopped foul. We go to 1-1. Thank you. Thank you, John. My bad. Got too caught up in the moment. All right, 1-1 count. With one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Peterson. Grounds it up the middle. It's going to go to the second baseman. He muffs it. That'll be it. AJ Avasco comes in to score. And the Carpetland Spartans are 4-0 here at the Central Plains Regional. They walk it off on a round ball from Tanner Peterson. They will win it 7-6 here. And they are 4-0. They will play against St. Michael tomorrow once, or if necessary twice, to try to punch their ticket to Shelby in the coming days. Great performance from the Harrisburg Gold as they do their best. They hold this team. They go the distance with a 3-0 Nebraska champion Lincoln East Spartan teams. But we're going to be ready. Tomorrow, we get to see that St. Michael team that put up 20 hits and 17 runs and has pitched so well this tourney, only lost by 1 run in the first game against Carpetland, come back, get their rematch, and try to punch their ticket to Shelby. That'll be 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow. 11 a.m. Mountain, 12 Central. So thank you all for watching here. And that'll be it. So thank you for watching. I'm Oliver Fell. Glad you enjoyed the broadcast. Hard Hats TV brings you every game of the Central Plains Regional, both of them tomorrow if it happens, maybe just one. If Carpetland can win their game against St. Michael in the morning, it'll be the end of things. They will just clinch their ticket to Shelby and the National Legion World Series. Both St. Michael and Carpetland, great teams that could make some waves and some noise at the national tournament. So, thank you all for watching, and that'll be it. The final score here from Rapid City, South Dakota, Fitzgerald Stadium is going to be Carpetland 7, Carpetland Spartan 7, and oh wait, you're right. Oopsie. Final score here, Carpetland Spartan 7, Harrisburg Gold 6. I'll see you tomorrow for St. Michael versus the Carpetland Spartans with a trip to Shelby on the line. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Oliver Fell, and have a good rest of your day.